smoke so much I make my sinus bleed. Wish I could blow up just so I could breathe, but it's hard when there's riots in the streets. Sick of sitting out.
Hey, what's up? This is Off the Top with J. Rob the Law, and we got John Austin in the building. I don't remember what episode this is, but we're probably well into 30. We're just going to call this Season 2. How are you feeling today?
I'm great. Thank you for being here.
Heck yeah. Well, tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm 38 years old, and I was born in upstate New York on November 13th, 1982. And I've always had a passion for what I do right now, and that's being a radio DJ. So I started off on the radio from the advice of my guidance counselor, Mrs. Albany. Thank you so much, Mrs. Albany, if you're watching right now, because you already know what you've done for me. When I was in 8th grade going to 9th grade, it was 1999, and we just had Woodstock 99 that had happened and all this stuff, and I got this awesome internship and this ability to do a radio show when I was 16 at WJPZ Syracuse University's Newhouse School of Broadcasting. They had offered an internship program that summer, and my mom let me skip summer school and go and do the internship at the radio station, which was unheard of. And I was excited, and I wanted to tell all my friends I was going to be a radio DJ, and they didn't believe me, but I went up to that campus from midnight to 6 every morning, and I ran the board, which meant I didn't get to talk on the radio. I got to just kind of learn how to do the functions of the board. So people made fun of me because they were like, "You're not on the radio." And I'm like, "I'm gonna be. I'm gonna do this." 16 years old, and I was very persistent, I guess you could say. So I didn't just like lie down and let somebody say, "Hey, you couldn't do this." And I found like this niche, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it good." And I learned from the best in the business. And I worked my tail off that summer. And those college kids, they didn't want to do the work during the school year, so they let me stay on. And I worked my way up. And I got an internship when I was 17 at Clear Channel at Hot 107.9 in Syracuse with Jason Kidd, which was an amazing experience because I bugged him every single day during football practice. I'd call double sessions, and I'd be like, "Mr. Kidd, I want to come up to the radio station and be a DJ. I'm on Z89, which was a college radio station, and I'm in high school, and I'm getting to be on this." And I had a demo tape. They had all this stuff. I did the school announcements at my high school, West Genesee High School, in Syracuse, New York, and I was ready. I was hungry for this. So I got an internship after bugging them for 2 months. You know, I got an internship. Jason Kidd said, "Come on up to the radio station." And I got to work for Post Malone's aunt. That was my very first boss, Post Malone's aunt, Sarah Lanou. And
Wow.
A lot of people are like, "Post Malone's from Dallas." I'm like, "No, he's from Syracuse, New York." And then he moved to Dallas. And Sarah, you know, she's great and always believed in Post Malone and all that stuff. And you know Post Malone's real name is Austin. That's my name. So I didn't get it for him. I'll tell you that coming up here in a little bit. But, I mean, just going from an internship at a college radio station, and then going to do an internship at a commercial radio station, and then they gave me $6 an hour to work there. Yeah, they hired me, and I had my own show and stuff, and then I showed those kids in high school who was boss. I sure dang did. Yeah, because I used to go by AJ Hammer. That was my old name back when I first started. That was AJ Hammer. They hand-plucked that name for me. They gave it to me. They're like, "Here it is, AJ Hammer. That's who you're going to be." And I was like, "Yes, AJ Hammer." It was cool.
So what made you want to pursue this life?
You know, my dad growing up, he always said, like, "Hey, you know, you could be a good truck driver, or you could sell cars." I don't know why that gave me the motivation to want to be on the radio. Oh, wait. Maybe it was my mom winning all those prizes when I was a kid, because we were the quote-unquote prize pigs. We were the reason they came up with the 30-day rule. My mom was upset when I got my job at Clear Channel because she couldn't even friggin' win a contest on the radio, and that's all we did growing up. Go to win radio contests, stand in line for this, do that.
Wow.
So I love the radio. The radio's been one of those things that's always been instilled in me as like a good thing, you know, like the crazy stuff that people get into when they're on the radio. And I grew up listening to the best. Chris Mann, when he did the played in the NSYNC song 90 something times in a row, and then taking the door and shutting it closed so the boss couldn't come. Listening to this stuff as a kid, and you're like, oh my God, theater of the mind, imagination, playing with my G.I. Joes, having them go on date with the Barbie dolls. That's all I do all day it's just like theater of the mind and coming up with that like thing that really will connect you to a bit or a story. Like what do you like about a story? You like that it's entertaining and it's good. I got 8 seconds to get your attention, and it better be dang good. I gotta get your attention. I want to make you feel something for that brief moment. I know you won't turn me off because I'm that good. Just kidding. I'm just saying, I just want people to feel like I did when I listened to the radio as a kid, and that was exciting, excitement that you couldn't really control. You don't know why you're excited. You call up and win something. You're like, what did I win? You don't even care what you won. You're just glad you won. You're glad somebody appreciated you that day.
Yeah.
You're glad somebody's driving around when you're going from point A to point B.
So do you feel like your voice matters?
Your voice matters?
Yeah.
My voice matters. I had to take a voice and diction class because when I came from upstate New York and I went from Syracuse to Buffalo to Canada to Pittsburgh to Indianapolis to Atlanta, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the one thing I heard when I went to Atlanta was, you sound like you're from New York. Well, I was from New York, so I had to take a voice and diction class, and now I sound like I'm from Nebraska. So there you go.
What brought you to Tulsa?
The job. Yeah, I moved here 10 years ago to do a morning show on the radio, and my ex, she moved here to do a guy named Tom. So that's kind of how that went,
Oh wow.
I had things I wanted to do. She had people she wanted to do. They're doing well.
So you're getting into the comedy scene. Why is that?
Well, comedy for me is an outlet and a release that I don't get to do on the radio anymore. Now, I moved here to do a morning show. Moved here to do, have a co-host and talk to them about problems going on. When you do a fast show like this and you have got 8 to 10 to 20 seconds to talk to somebody, you really can't say a whole lot. So I like to be able to get out my energy and my creative juices and put them into like places where, who doesn't want to do stand-up comedy and be funny in front of people because, you make them feel good, with crap you go through, stuff that I go through, stuff that next person goes through. It might not be the same exact thing, but I think we can all relate with, misfortune in life and, crazy stuff happening. So stand-up comedy for me is actually cheaper than therapy, and I get to kind of just get it all out and show you a different part of myself, a part of myself that I don't get to do on the radio, and that's kind of where I'm at.
So it's like catharsis. It's like purging out emotions and stuff, and like being able to have mutual validation through other people, and like I feel like one of the like good points of like your work is that you like to make other people happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I totally resonate with that, and that's totally respectable as well. So I'm curious though, what would you say to the people that want to do what you want to do?
Like be on the radio?
Or just, just like
have a song on the radio?
Or just, just people that want to work their way up the ladder and whatever thing that they're inspired to do.
Well, I think the best way to look at that is that everything that you see in life has taken a while to build or put together. Overnight sensations or people who seem like they just made it, they've been working for a long time to make it. And I say this to a lot of upcoming people and they don't like it. It's this. If I told you that I knew the exact day that you're going to make it, I know the exact day, I know the exact time, I know it's going to be 10 years from now, would you still work as hard as you're working right now and keep working that hard for all those 10 years to know that took 10 years to be that overnight? Or would you give up knowing that that's going to be a lot of hard work? Because I'm going to tell you this, doing this sort of business, it's almost like going to get a doctorate or going to get some kind of really crazy degree in something, and you got to do a lot of schoolwork or you got to do a lot of like stuff to make sure that you can secure your foundation. That's what working your way up is securing your foundation, securing your place, and making sure that you're not going to lose grip when stuff gets tough. Because when stuff gets tough and everything's going your way, and I've had this more than one time in my life, everything's going your way, and then the brakes just come. I mean, it just stops, and then you're not the hottest, coolest thing anymore. Or they went a different direction. They went a different way, and you can't even fathom what you're gonna do now, and you've got to rebuild yourself back over. That's what successful people do. They rebuild themselves over and over and over, and people like us do things like this. This is what we do. We build so it can't be broken down. The overnight sensation, the overnight success, the person that's grinding it out, and it does take them 10 years, and they know it's going to take them 10 years, that's the person who's going to win, okay? That's the person who's going to be there, because they're putting the foundation down, and they want to solidify themselves in the community and make sure that everybody around them feels good, but they're also doing their own thing, and they've got their own vision and their own way, and nothing's going to stand in that. You know, as soon as you get somebody to stand in your way of your passion and your dream, look the other way, unless they're giving you good advice. And if you don't know that they're giving you good advice, you got to recognize, like, that advice, it might not seem cool at the moment. It might be an uncomfortable friggin' conversation. You're like, why is this person telling me this crap? Well, maybe just take it, digest it, don't get emotional. It's the worst thing you can do. And then think Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is your best friend, and then you put some crap up there and you can't come back from it. You know? So I say, if you think that it's going to be easy being a self-made person, it's not. It's the hardest thing you can do. It'd be easier to go become a lawyer than to become a self-made person. Self-made people, I mean, you can't really get taken down. I mean, you look at the Diddy's and all the people out there that I've gotten to rub elbows with and hang out with just for a brief moment, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours with J-Lo, best thing of your life. It'll be the best. I mean, I'm just saying, like, when you're around successful people, you're successful.
Does it rub off?
It rubs off. When you see somebody doing something, you're like, how'd you do that? And then you do it. I mean, they show you just a little bit of the way. Holy crap. When you're around a successful person, things happen.
So do you think it's like a good idea to be around people who are more rich or more wealthy or even smarter? Is it good to be around people that have either a higher capacity of success in their life, and I mean, rather than being around people that aren't doing much, like, so I mean, you're saying that is being around people that are successful can rub off on you, and in turn help you go down that same path as well. Yeah, because, like, if you've already been down the road and you know there's a detour coming, or you know there's a left turn, but if you know that path, you're good. Somebody else has already gone down that road and it hasn't been very good, and then you go down that road and you're like, man, this road sucks. Well, maybe somebody could have told you, like, yo, man, don't go down that road. Don't go down that road. So where do you see your trajectory being? Like, what do you see for your path in the future, in the next year to 5 years? What do you want for yourself?
Well, I think with the continued success of becoming part of the community in Tulsa has been the biggest thing. Is when you live someplace and you love where you live and you work where you live and you play where you live and you love the city and you love the people and you love when we start to come together and put this energy together, I mean, I just feel like we could do something as a community together, whether it's comedy or music or what. Something's going to pop off of here that's not Hanson, okay? Like, there's going to be something big that happens out of Tulsa that's a music scene or a comedian, or maybe it's a variety show. I don't know. If I could see it, then I don't know. I might not want to keep going for it because it might be too scary.
So I think you feel it more than you see it. Like,
I feel it.
Yeah.
It's a feeling of what we're doing and what we're able to accomplish together. Yeah.
Definitely. So why do you feel like open mics are important to artists and comedians and public speakers?
Well, trying new stuff, getting yourself out there, being able to be an artist that's able to do a live show, not just be a studio musician, getting the the encouragement of other people doing the same thing that you are. Like I said before, people like us do things like this. So, it's not like a socializing club to go out there and like, here's my clique and that's their clique and blah, blah, blah. I mean, sure, that does happen. Mm-hmm. I think more so the person that's focused and the person that's aware and uses each night, each open mic as one of those chances to be great. Something go viral in 2 seconds. If you come up with a freestyle or open mic battle, or you're doing something that somebody notices. I mean, people that are like Leonardo DiCaprio size big are in this market right now. The Scorsese, they're actually here, mm-hmm. and they're going around downtown in Tulsa. You never know who's going to be at your show, and you never know who's going to want you to help them out, and you never see. We could do this all day. Mm-hmm. Never know. The thing is that you got to be ready when that chance comes to you.
And you won't know unless you.
And that chance is probably going to come at the worst possible time, mm-hmm. and you're not going to be ready. So how are you ready? You be ready by always going out, doing open mics, meeting the right people, knowing your scene, knowing your audience. That's mm-hmm. a big thing too, is knowing your audience. I think open mics help you know your audience better.
Yeah.
What happens when you go and you got to do a show and you're like, wow, this is not the audience I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I've done all ages shows, and then all of a sudden things change. You got to tell the rapper they can't use swear words? What? You know what I mean? Like, you find yourself in these situations where you got to kind of roll with the punches, and you got to just make it happen. So
you won't know you won't know if you don't try.
You won't know if you don't try, and if you don't go out into an open mic night, I think it's one of those things that you're just hurting yourself.
Yeah, see, it's like I totally resonate with that because, like, see, I was going to open mics all the time, like multiple open mics a week for weeks and weeks and weeks for like long period of time, and then even just like putting a speaker up like outside in the alleyway behind Rabbit Hole, and just rapping on the mic when everybody's leaving, everybody congregates, and we're like, yeah, freestyle, cypher and stuff, best thing ever, But then whenever the shows start coming, you start getting like 2 or 3 shows a week or a weekend or something, then you're just eventually the open mic just is the show, But now I'm in the place of understanding that just that sense of community is so important, and I feel like you're such a staple in the community, not even just the comedy scene or the radio scene or any of those scenes. I mean, the music scene as well. It's like you're a big part of all of this. I mean, you help a lot of people out, and we all see that.
Gotta support people.
Yeah,
I mean, and the thing is that like, being a DJ on the radio, it's like one of the things that I have to deal with a lot with artists coming at me and they say, man, how do I get my song on the radio? And I've got to instantly be like that person that is like, man, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And then they always want to know how it works. And there's a thing called Plugola Payola, and I've got to sign this thing every quarter, which says that I won't accept any kind of gift or any kind of money. So somebody comes up here and says, the hottest new track, here's $5,000. Guess what? That's all good and dandy. That'll be the last $5,000 you ever get. Because you'll play it once and you'll get screwed. You will be blacklisted in the industry. No radio station will want to hire you because that's not how it's done. You have to submit your artist submission stuff to the record label, and then they go through a whole process, and then they go through the record label stuff.
So it's more through the record label than it is through the radio people themselves. So I mean, it's not like, hey, put my song on the radio. Okay, I mean, maybe if it's college radio, maybe. I mean, because there's some like small time radio stations that you can't really pick up on the radio unless you're in a specific place.
Well, that sounds like a pirated radio station.
Probably. I didn't, but see, that's very interesting though, because like I've never asked you like, hey, can you play my song? Because I already understood that there's a huge process but it's like, how long have you been doing this though? I mean, you talked about it, but like, how long specifically have you been doing this for?
23 years.
23 years.
23 years. So started when I was 16. I'm gonna be 39 this year, and 23 years of being in the business, meeting the best, working with Scooter Braun. I mean, we're still friends and everything, and to see what he's done, and that was like one of the people who came up to me like, hey, there's this kid, I'm flying him in with his mom. He goes, you know, what do you think? You know, and I'm like, who gives a crap about this 11-year-old kid? What's up with my TV show? Told Scooter Braun that. Could have been one of the biggest opportunities of my life. You know, standing there and I'm asking him about, hey, what's happening with me? Because I couldn't understand at that point, like, maybe I should start to focus on things around me, build other people up. There's a big thing to be said about that. So, you know, I've been so close, and I've seen, my actual people around me catapult into this hundreds of millions of dollars of success. And I'm not unhappy for them or anything or jealous at all. I'm happy for them. I'm absolutely happy for them. You know, could I have been a part of that? Maybe. But maybe I haven't written my story yet. Maybe my story hasn't been written. Maybe it wasn't to be Justin Bieber's road manager or something. You know, maybe I'm still supposed to do something even greater than I can even picture or imagine. Being a radio disc jockey, cool. Being a stand-up comic, that's cool. Both of them, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like I could use this and that to talk on the air and do my thing and, you know, really connect with the list. So maybe there's something else. Maybe I got another run in me when, you know, it comes to doing a morning show or doing some kind of crazy podcast talk show where I give advice to people, you know, when I can't give it to myself.
Yeah, maybe you're gonna start doing music too.
I always love music. You know, I've got a song that I made called Unicorn Sex. You know? I mean, produced the whole thing and everything with my friend. I mean, we spent 3 months on that. I didn't even do anything with it other than make a couple TikTok videos. But I don't know. You know, it's like...
It's awesome, though.
Yeah. I found out Unicorn Sex is a 3-way, by the way. I didn't even know that. So
that's hilarious. I had no idea either. So I'm curious though. Who is the most interesting? Who are the most interesting people that you have spent time around in the industry?
Well, spent time around, like actual real time.
Or just, you know, met, or, you know, you said 20 minutes, 2 hours, you know, however long, you know.
Well, it's kind of crazy because, you know, I remember back in 2009, Jason Derulo, he had the song out, What You Say, and it wasn't going that well with the record label, and they were going to drop him from the record label, and he was having, like, a bad night. And it was Fort Wayne, Indiana, and, like, you know, we had Coolio at the show. I forget who else was there. We had Coolio at the show. I know Coolio asked my co-host and me to have like a 3-way or something. Coolio, 1, 2, 3, 4, get your woman on the... We was down lunch, like, hey, how you... Another story, I shouldn't even brought it up. But Jason Derulo, he was going through like a bad time, and I gave him a pep talk. And I was sitting there talking to him, I was like, dude, I love that song. I think it's going to be something. I wouldn't really get too down on yourself. I said... You know, Chris Brown's probably going to mess up again or something. And he goes, no, Chris Breezy would never mess up. You know, he ended up dead. And then Jason Derulo, it was like crazy. I saw him like sad, down on himself. And he had all these songs. And he's telling me like, he goes, Austin, he's like, I had produced like 300 songs out of my mom's old car that had broken down. And we put mattresses inside of it in Chicago. And I made all these songs. And he's like, I just want to be able to do my music and stuff. And I go, man, your stuff is good. I love your stuff. I go, I just debuted a new Jason Derulo song today.
Oh, that's
you know
awesome.
what I'm saying? How many years later? And that was somebody who's so successful, doubting on himself. I was able to pick him up that day. And he called me out of the blue. Like, it was 2 years ago. It had to be 2 years ago. Called me out of the blue from a number I didn't even know. Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo coming through town. What you doing, man? You know, that's what's cool. It's like when they remember who you are, and if even for maybe where you were from, or when they remember your name, they call you up and they're like, hey, how you doing, man? There's nothing better than that. You know, so.
Very satisfying, I'm sure.
From 50 Cent to J-Lo to Wyclef Jean to, I mean, I don't know. I've done TV show pilot with Turner Broadcast, and I was called the next Ryan Seacrest in 2007. Yeah, that never happened. I got the T-shirt from the TV show pilot I did, which you can still watch on YouTube. It's called Crank That. Yeah, Rashida the Georgia Peach and Big Boy from Outkast were my co-hosts. Never got picked up. Never.
Wow.
It was supposed to be a 5-day a week show that was broadcast out of Atlanta to replace TRL and Soul Train called Crank That, the hottest new dance show. And it was hosted by me, Big Boy from Outkast, Rashida the Georgia Peach, Ramona DePro, and like, whew, DJ Monte. We had him on, Walk It Out, DJ Unk. I mean, Hurricane Chris, A Bay Bay. Soulja Boy, Crank That Soulja Boy. I mean, going in the studio and recording Crank That Soulja Boy with Soulja Boy. I mean, like, being a part of that. I don't know. I've got so many things.
Who's the craziest celebrity you've met?
The craziest celebrity? I made out with Fantasia. You remember Fantasia? I made out with Fantasia. Remember Fantasia?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, look her up. Fantasia.
I've heard the name.
She was on American Idol back in the day.
See, I've heard the name. I'm not too well versed in celebrities, but who's the craziest though?
The craziest? Probably. No, I was going to say DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia when we hung out in Las Vegas. That was probably the craziest night that I had. So
was it like a good crazy like? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, like a good crazy. Like,
okay.
pushing you to the limits of your fun factor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of taking you to that edge and just...
He's like, one more. And you're like, no thanks.
Waking up drunk and crying, where's my glasses, where are my glasses? And
like,
they were on my head.
Like the Hangover movie. I mean, I think I've only seen that once. I can't remember what happened in that one.
Hulk Hogan's cool. Hung out with Hulk Hogan for a
Wow.
while. That was at the 2007 Billboard Music Awards. That was pretty good. I did the Teen Choice Awards on the red carpet, or they called it the green carpet.
Wow,
Hung out
that's
with
crazy.
Zac Efron and Jonah Hill. I've got a video when I'm interviewing Snoop Dogg, and Jonah Hill and Justin Long interrupt my interview, and it was with Superbad had just come out, so Snoop Dogg's like, Superbad!
That's crazy.
Oh, Lauren and Adrena from the Hills. Oh my God, did I have a thing for them? And I was on TMZ there in the background, like walking, because I got into the after party at the Teen Choice Awards in LA because we went to a gay club by mistake, me and my friend, and the girl at the door said, well, the Nick Cannon after party's just down the road. Just tell them Carrie sent you. So we went up to the door, and I didn't think there was any way we were getting in. I said, Carrie sent us. Come on in.
Wow.
It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. It was like Nick Cannon, I walk in, he high-fived me. Greg Oden, the #1 draft pick at the time. We were doing the Crank That Soulja Boy on the dance floor. Chameleonaire riding dirty. Yeah, he was hanging out at the table with Lauren and Adrena from the Hills. And then I see Omarion from B2K. This is my arch nemesis, Omarion from B2K. Bump, bump, bump. Omarion from B2K comes over to me and goes, Austin, how you doing, man? He had seen me in Atlanta 4 times previously. He had 4 singles that didn't make it. And he had been in Atlanta like 4 times previously, like right before we were out in LA. Mm-hmm. We're area nightclub. I had $148 in my checking account at the time. And I went to get 1 drink. I'm not even kidding you. They ran my thing and they did a $150 hold because that was the minimum at the club that night.
Wow.
1 drink cost me $150. I'm sitting there and I almost spilled it. And I said, Omarion, how you doing, man? He goes, Austin, you need to slow down with them drinks. And I go, what? And he goes, you're out there dancing. You don't even know how to do the Crank That Soulja Boy. And I was so upset by that. And then Greg Oden came over and he put his arm around me and he was like, man, he's like, Omarion, get out of here. It was just kind of cool that, somebody backed me up on that because I didn't know I was going to get out of that one. Omarion wanted to, do a dance-off with me or something. I was like, I'm going to lose. I can't dance. I'm the DJ.
Wow, that's so crazy. There's so many interesting stories. See, I want to keep digging into that vault, but I feel like, I don't know, if there's anything else you can think of that relating to celebrities.
I passed out at the T.I. album release party and everybody took a photo with me. In my white blazer and neon green shirt.
Wow.
I mean, I had lost 100 pounds for the TV show that I did for Turner Broadcast. So I went from 256 pounds down to 148. I did that in 6 months for the TV show.
Wow.
I had to lose weight for it.
That's crazy.
So I lost the weight. I did the work. And, 2 ex-fiancés later, I'm all right.
So I have a question now. And it's away from celebrities, or maybe celebrities as well. But I mean, there's not many celebrities that are Tulsa grown though. But in Tulsa, I don't know how much you're into the rap scene or anything, or rappers or anything. What's your 3 favorite rappers from Tulsa?
Jake Bleezy, Spades, and I like the Neighbors.
Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing. All of those
I mean,
people are amazing.
that's there you go.
Heck yeah.
I mean, if you wanted me to just rattle them off, I mean, I like what you guys are doing, obviously, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's not, you know, like I like what Bleezy's been doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's doing a great job.
I just
like
do.
the stuff that they're doing is great. And see, I'm happy you did 3 because every other time people are like, wait, hold on, wait. There's this one guy. Personally, I really like First Verse, his work. He's part of Fire in Little Africa and World Culture Music. First Verse is phenomenal. And, I mean, but see, don't get me started because I'll start going off about 100 rappers out here. But what's your favorite like place to eat at or bar in Tulsa? What's your favorite
Rabbit
place?
Hole.
Yeah,
Rabbit Hole is my favorite.
I love Rabbit Hole
for chicken wings because I'm from upstate New York, so like the chicken wings there. If you're looking for an authentic buffalo wing, Mauricio just bought the place, and Mauricio's a good guy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah,
Mauricio used to be on my morning show back here at 106.9 KHits. He was on the man panel for 3 years, every single morning.
Wow.
On every Monday morning we did. Yeah, I mean, Mauricio bought that Rabbit Hole, and that was like cool as heck because he's like, I feel like Mauricio is just like the rest of us, man. Like out here just trying to do something, and when he bought that place, the Rabbit Hole, I was like, cool, man. I was like, you're gonna hold on to it, and you're gonna love it, and put that kind of care and that love back into it like we do, because not only do we go out to the Rabbit Hole to like hang out, but we go out there to perform. We go out there to be seen. And it's right there in the Blue Dome District.
it's right in the middle.
I mean,
right
it's really hard. But when you say that, Rabbit Hole, that's my spot.
Because I remember when I didn't know what that place was, and you just be walking, and there's St. Vitus right there. There's Reds. There's
Shady Keys.
Yeah, Shady Keys. There's Hertz Donuts, Andolini's, I think, and there's a bunch of places just right there. The Max, yeah, and all of these places, and I'm just like
Ripley's.
Yeah, Ripley's. It's so you're just walking from one of the bars, and you're just you see this mysterious alleyway, and there's this gate. And you're just and there's all these people behind there, and you're just oh, that seems kind of cool. And then you just pop in there, and everybody's yeah, what's up? Great spot. My favorite spot as well.
It feels like old school LA a little bit right now.
Really?
Kind of just Tulsa, the way it is. Some spots, it doesn't have even a sign.
Yeah.
Somebody's is that a bar? Is that a club? No, you just gotta know, man. What do you mean you just gotta know?
For real.
That's part of the
and
fun,
see, I feel like a lot of people, I've heard Tulsa's the new LA or the new Austin or the new Atlanta.
Yeah.
My opinion is that Tulsa's just the new Tulsa. It's it's Tulsa's coming up, and I mean all those places are great as well. I want to travel, but it's Tulsa has a great music scene, great comedy scene, a lot of great things out here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a few wild card questions before we wrap this up, but
okay.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Same. Dogs way better. I mean, they're just better. Hands or feet?
Hands.
Ocean or lake?
Anywhere it's got a beach. Probably a lake though. Yeah.
Okay. Europe or South America?
South America.
Do you think? How do you feel about? I don't know how to word this, but do you think that there is? Do you believe in conspiracies? Just let me ask that. What's your favorite conspiracy?
Well, I used to think Tupac was still alive, and I used to be really into the Tupac 7-day theory thing. So I'm thinking he's not alive anymore.
I don't think he is either.
So R.I.P. man, I mean, hell, I used to believe that one. The moon hoax, that was a little bit, I tried to see it for what people were saying, but then when the Mythbusters debunked that one, that was pretty solid. Bigfoot, UAPs, yes. Yeah.
What
Which
about-
is UFO.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So what about aliens? I mean, you think aliens are
Sure.
real? Do you think they're physical aliens, metaphysical aliens, or aliens that were created on this earth?
I think we are the aliens.
We are the aliens. Interesting. So you don't believe in metaphysical aliens, like interdimensional, beings or entities or deities or whatever?
Well, there probably are. I just don't know enough because I haven't seen it.
Hmm.
Seeing's believing for me.
Do you think that censorship is happening at a faster rate than it ever has before?
Yeah.
Do you think that this is a system of just pure capitalism, pure communism, or pure fascism? The system that is being put onto our society, or however you explain it, however I say that,
I don't know. No comment.
Do you think that?
Because I just decided to run for office one day.
Okay. You may not want to answer this one either. Do you think capitalism or communism is better?
I don't know.
I think they're both good ideas on paper, but I think that whenever they're applied, I think capitalism was cool, but now there's just like the mega, corporations and stuff that are taking over the world. Do you believe in globalists?
And what?
Globalists, like elitists, like global elite billionaire bankers.
Do I believe that they exist?
Do you like the elitist mentality? Like, do you believe that there's people out there that have a plan of depopulation?
Like a plan to stay alive?
Do you believe that there is a cabal of people that are trying to depopulate the earth? It's a very random question, but I'm just curious.
You mean like genocide or something?
Like, I mean, there's a phrase for it, the NWO,
I mean, I just don't know enough about that stuff.
Okay, I just curious. I feel like nobody else. I've never heard anybody else ask questions like this on an interview. I like to hit sometimes just with the wild card, like what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I understand. I mean, no comment. But I'm just curious. So we went over aliens, all this other stuff. Anything else that you have in mind? Those were all the wild card questions.
No.
Okay. Well, all right, well, we're near the ending segment of this, and do you have any shout-outs for anybody?
Any shout-outs?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to give a shout-out especially to you for watching right now. Thank you so much. You know who you are. Thank you so much for watching this. Obviously, I'm talking to you, Ma, my only fan out there. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody who's decided to just feel good about life, want to do something positive, push people up, push people forward, don't step on them, hand up, not a handout. I don't really know who else. I give out shout outs all the time to random people. I don't really know who to give a shout out to other than you for watching. Thank you so much for watching this awesome piece that we put together here today, and J. Rob for interviewing me, obviously.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah.
Can you say shout out to Why Fear
Okay,
and subscribe to the channel?
All right, here we go. Shout out to Why Fear. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do it now. Subscribe. 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 Why Fear. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Where is it at?
Thank you for your time. I have one more thing, one last segment of this,
Yeah.
and then we'll take a break. I call this freestyle session. So, but this is usually for rappers. But I tell people that they can either rap a written, a freestyle, or they can rant for a minute or two.
Uh-huh.
So if you got anything that you got to rant about, anything that you're thinking about the past few days, or as a general life lesson or something that you'd like the people to hear, this is the last comment. Starting now, if you'd like.
Let's see here. Life rant? A rant? Whatever?
Yeah, about anything, just whatever you want to talk about.
Man. Well, I guess I've been given this minute to just talk about something that I've been thinking about. All right, so there's a lot of people out there who are getting sick currently. I know people personally that have gone into the hospital, and thank God they've come back out of the hospital. Some aren't so lucky. My sister, she's a nurse, so she's on a COVID floor, and I know what they're going through. So just mask up. If you're out there, wash your hands. Be socially distancing. I know it's crazy time, COVID-19. It doesn't seem to be going away with this Delta variant and stuff. So if you haven't done it already, get vaccinated. It's one of those things that it could save your life. I'm not a doctor. All I know is I've done it. So just wanted you to be safe out there, and I love you no matter what.
Wish I could blow up just so I could breathe, but it's hard when there's riots in the streets. Sick of sitting idly by, watching life cycling like